Oh, hello there, Site-42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation community. And welcome to another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site-42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site-42 of the SCP Foundation. And as I have done for the last 8.5 months and counting, the daily streak remains strong. I am here to open my office door to you, the SCP Foundation staff, to answer your burning questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who get really salty about this whole containment thing, I mean, we need a drink of water, they're so salty. And then, of course, hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview. Perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. We are here for approximately the next hour-ish. So, before we begin the standard Q&A, let me start with a little bit of housekeeping. First and foremost, Unfailing Eagle. Congratulations on being our #1 most punctual member of today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. And by that I mean, congratulations on being first chatter. Meanwhile, Nikki Knackle, Dr. Frogman, Philip November, Scarlet, Dr. Puppeteer, Silent Follower, Zombie Cat, Pixel Periton, Senior Researcher Alex, Skullwolf Kurt, Night Synth Skyro, everyone who I have just named, welcome to today's stream. Thank you for being punctual, and thank you for being members of Site-42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Meanwhile, the Mintman, Lone Opal, Mochaella, Adol, and Cyrus the Weirdo. Thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here just for being you today. Okay. And Dr. Puppeteer, thank you for your 4-month member message as a level 1 researcher here at Site-42. We appreciate your membership and your service. I'm back from the grave. Again. How are y'all? Well, it is nice that I'm not coming back from the grave, so, yes, I am doing quite well, I would assume. I hope that your recovery from the grave is going well as well. I can hear that can be a, uncomfortable process. Furthermore, Wozcom, thank you for your 2-month member message as a level 1 researcher. We appreciate your membership and your service. Have you seen Space King? It's a good show. I've never heard of Space King, but I'm glad to hear it is good. Scarlet, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself some steel-cut oatmeal on your way past the commissary. Hello, Dr. Sherman. I'm currently watching Doctor Who while watching this. Oh, that timey-wimey bastard. Yes, do more research on the Doctor and let us know the best way to contain it. How are you doing? I'm finally done with my phone. I'm having a good day. Well, I am doing well. We're having a good day here at Site-42 as well. Wozcom, you're saying this Space King show is on YouTube. Well, I'll have to take a peek at it. As I said earlier, I found the site Discord thanks to sticking around to the end of yesterday's stream. Green Coded, congratulations on getting the hint. Remember that if you want to find the Site42 Discord server, first and foremost, you need to be 18 plus. That's a rule for joining the SCP Wiki and the SCP Wiki official Discord server, and the Site42 unofficial SCP offshoot, not official at all Discord. It's an adult community with a lot of gratuitous violence and sexuality, so it's treated like rated R movies are in America. Be cautious. Now, let me double check this, make sure we're not having a snafu. Gotcha, we're all good. Leuna, thank you for your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a bowl of Captain Crunch on your way past the commissary. Hey Doc, can I ask, are time zones anomalous? No, time zones are man-made, simple, and it is something that is just used for keeping notation of time across the globe. Now, daylight savings time, that is a little bit our fault. Not our fault. What I mean is the anomalies behind the veil's fault. That daylight savings time is anomalous. It's something that we have to keep up for reasons that, just to be clear, yes, this is something that I do not have liberty to speak about. Highly classified. So there is no database entry for you to check out, but just trust me, you don't want to know. Scarlet, thank you for donating again to say, I have a strange feeling you don't like how we can't capture the doctor. Timey-wimey bastard kind of gives it away. Also, will do. Yes, I'm glad that my true intentions shone through my professional speech and my unprofessional speech. The doctor has been evading us for some time, and if it's anomalous, it goes in a box and not a phone box. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for your 1-month member message as a level 1 as an overseer here at Site42. You're one of the bosses around here. Also, it's been a while, Dihydrogen monoxide. Good to see you. The United States DOJ got nothing on the SCP Foundation with redacted files. Oh, yeah. That was a mess, and we are very sorry to have inspired them to be so heavy-handed with the black marker. Whoever was in charge of redacting the Epstein files, failing that miserably, and the SCP Foundation will get them an automatic D-class demotion. Yes, SCP-5004-B's cabinet in its second term seems to be particularly incompetent. I also might believe there are some SCP Foundation agents on the inside who may be doing a poor job as a rebellion against the fact that we had to install that thing as president again. Skullwolf Kurt, thank you for your first donation of today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a grilled cheese on your way past the commissary. Hello, Doctor. Could you tell us what your typical work schedule is? Well, here at the Foundation, there is no typical work schedule. Every day is a new adventure in chaos. So laboratory assignments can be in the morning, noon, or night. Administrative duties have to be fit in between that because obviously the research is the most important part of working for the Foundation. Of course, I make a little time for you guys every day, but that is why the schedule is so sporadic, and sometimes we stream at 10 o'clock in the morning, sometimes we stream at 8 o'clock at night. It just depends on the mix of laboratory research, which, with unpredictable anomalies, creates an unpredictable schedule, as well as my administrative duties as site director. Intern Ackerman, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a piece of cinnamon toast on your way past the commissary. SCP Idea, a vinyl that plays your whole life on a song. Well, we do have SCP-067, yes, laugh it up, which is a fountain pen that writes out your entire life story as soon as you pick it up, including things that you forgot. It's very thorough. And so I think a vinyl that did that would be stepping on the toes of SCP-067, which already exists. Therefore, there you go. We've already got one. Tails, Autumn, Typo, Hydra, and Cyrillic alphabet words that I can't pronounce, as well as Food Stealer. All of you, welcome to Site-42 staff, and thank you for subscribing. Apparently, the redacted list can be copy and pasted to read the blackout stuff. Yes, Unfailing Eagle, that's what I'm talking about, where it's either incompetence or someone is trying to get the information out and being maliciously incompetent. Either way, I enjoy watching the dumpster fire burn. Foxpax & Co., thank you for your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a ice cool glass of melonade on your way past the commissary. Heads up, the blizzard just lifted, and once traffic lightens up, we'll be making our way to Site-42. Be careful, we have some unexpected storms coming in and flooding in the Site-42 area, so be cautious of the roads. Okay, real quick, before we get more donations in and before the Q&A begins in earnest, let me start with a question for you. Now, I'm not going to start with the question, I'm going to end with the question. So, some of you may be familiar, because we talk about it often on stream, the SCP Holiday Hub. The Holiday Hub is your home of SCPs about every holiday. And of course, the more popular the holiday, the more popular the amount of SCPs written about it in one way or another. But our stop on the Holiday Hub today is good old New Year's Eve coming up, and New Year's has 2 SCP documents. So the question is, are you going to prefer this year an SCP-4646 daughter or an SCP-6154 son? Because you've only got 2 choices, so you've got to choose your SCP New Year's Eve choice. And so, what are our 2 options here to make an educated decision? Should you be an SCP-4646 New Year's, or should you be an SCP-6154 New Year's? Let's start with SCP-6154, because it is quite short and therefore it will be much quicker to describe. SCP-6154, now, SCP-6154, codename Happy New Year SCP Foundation, has a bit of a technical limitation hampering it, so we're going to have to suspend our disbelief for a moment. So if you look at the document for SCP-6154, all it says is Happy New Year. Now that Happy New Year is only supposed to show up like this on January 1st local time. So let's all for just a moment pretend it is January 1st local time on this stream due to some timey-wimey shenanigans that have nothing to do with that timey-wimey bastard, I'll tell you. But okay anyways. When you click on it, you see the original document, what it looks like on not New Year's. And the normal document is an SCP document stating that one of our researchers made a Happy New Year post on the database against regulation, and we tried to delete it, but actually it turns out that he was a bit of a talented thaumaturge, and he accidentally imbued his little Happy New Year's post with some magic, so that when staff read it on New Year's, they become more happy, and it causes morale to go up. So, we just leave that database entry as is, and let staff read it on New Year's for a little bit of a mood boost. And so, make sure, if you choose SCP-6154 to be your SCP New Year's SCP of choice, make sure you read it on January 1st. Now, if you do not want such a simple SCP, such a small and nice bite-sized delight of an SCP, then we would take it over to SCP-4646. SCP-4646, codename Sing Me a Song for the End of the World. This one doesn't have any interesting formatting or photos, so I don't have to take you off the tripod to tell you about this one. So, SCP-4646, Sing Me a Song for the End of the World, is a abandoned house in the town of Blue Fox, Montana. When entering, let me not get ahead of myself. SCP-4646 was constructed at some point in the mid-1950s, but due to loss of records in the Scarlet Nights of 2042, good year, the precise date is unknown. Blue Fox is a town of 212 inhabitants. Most of these possess some knowledge of SCP-4646's anomalous properties. So far what we know is this document takes place after the year 2042, where something big happened that destroyed a lot of records. But there is this house in Blue Fox, Montana, a 1950s house that is somehow now anomalous. When entering SCP-4646 between 1700 hours on the 31st of December and 0600 hours on the 1st of January of any year, all individuals will travel through time to the house as it was at the corresponding time on 31st December 1999 and January 1st, 2000. Exiting 4646 at any point or staying until the end of the activation period will return the individual to the corresponding time in their own era. So essentially, everyone from all the time zones, anomalous time zones from earlier, can end up in one house party at New Year's Eve. Sounds like a good time. We might have to check it out sometime. Within SCP-4646, the scene is usually described as a large New Year's party intended to celebrate the advent of the millennium. While within SCP-4646, all individuals will find their physical condition and clothing altered to resemble their state on December 31st, 1999. Well, that doesn't bode great for me for enjoying a New Year's Eve party because I would be 14 years old. So, actually, I'd be 13 years old in August of 1999, or December of 1999. Therefore, I would not have a very good New Year's party, so maybe I'll skip that party. But if you are an appropriate age for your New Year's Eve party, then you can go and enjoy that New Year's Eve party. Despite the large number of people from the last 60 years who have been within SCP-4646 during its period of activation, no overcrowding has ever been reported or experienced. So at least it sounds fun. The circumstances surrounding SCP-4646's creation were unknown until December 27th, 2059, when Blue Fox resident and former member of the now defunct Are We Cool Yet, Stacy McIntosh, confessed her involvement to Agent Cartwright. No further action is deemed necessary. Interview log between the two of them. And they have a nice conversation about why they made the house party, what it had to do with Are We Cool Yet? And I am actually going to spoil the ending of this, so if you want to leave stream for 5 minutes to miss the spoiler, or just turn down the volume and watch me yap and hand sign, then you can do that. But spoilers, and I will put my finger up again when the spoilers are done. So, they talked about what's going on in there, and then they reveal that no one after the year 2059 has ever visited the party. The party is taking place in 2059, and no one later than that, no time travelers have showed up after that year? Why wouldn't any time travelers come back from after 2059? What happened in 2059? And then, of course, grand finale, we get the answer, and the answer actually, Addendum 2, at 1700 hours and 4 minutes on December 31st, 2059, Stacy McIntosh and Agent Cartwright entered SCP-4646. At 1700 hours and 9 minutes, the flowers began to bloom. And the link, of course, if you know what that ominous phrase means, the link in that last sentence goes to Lily's proposal, SCP-001, The World's Gone Beautiful. So, ooh, man, did that hit for me when I read it. I was just like, oh, this is getting grim. This is getting grim. And then, well, as I always say, if it had to be grim, at least that's the way I want it to go grim. At least that seems like a nice way out. So, you have a choice now. End of the world with flowers, or happy little morale boost on January 1st. Spoilers have ended. All right. So, read those SCP articles at your leisure. Choose your SCP New Year's companion of choice. Which SCP document will be your New Year's? So, now with about 35 minutes left on the clock, let me jump back into the donations and then run into the general Q&A. Aflac, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a cup of apple cider on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, we are back from the void. It's fucked. Well, yeah, the void is never a good time. I mean, yeesh. No one has a good time in the void. Did you end up going with white rabbits like I suggested, or did you stick with the mole rats? Lil Fire Lady, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a panini on your way past the commissary. SCP-5659 all day long. Okay, what is SCP-5659? Codename Deus Sex Machina. Well, I can't say I'm disappointed in the pun. That pun is top-notch. Although, of course, it leaves me worried as to what we're getting into. Also, Intern Engel, Mikey, and Chesball. Welcome to Site-42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. So what is SCP-5659? A Class 6 theologically ontokinetic humanoid, approximately 20 meters in height. It is currently residing in a hibernation state inside a pocket dimension, situated in the sewers beneath Czechoslovakia, Poland. Although the nature and shape of the entity are mostly unknown, it was confirmed that the entity increases in size when negative emotions are present in the vicinity. Okay, so a 20-meter tall entity. Lord of Lust. So do we have to, like... Okay, we're trying to contain it, and I know what we're going to do. I know what's going to happen at the end of this article. Oh. Yep, that's pretty much what I suspected. So yes, it is contained in exactly the manner you think it would be contained. Nah, freaky ass SCP Lamau. You are correct, Intern Black Hole. Green Coded, welcome to Level 1 Researchership here at Site-42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Welcome to staff. Scarlet, thank you for donating again to say 5 points, anomalous containment via bureaucratic blind spot, TARDIS separation event, narrative containment, pataphysics division, ethical stalemate, mutual containment, temporal jurisdiction trap. So I like the way you're thinking protocol-wise. Now, we do know that TARDIS separation event has never succeeded because the TARDIS is alive and goes to the Doctor one way or another. We know the ethical stalemate might work if we can find a way to permanently hold a hostage We know that the self-sacrificing nature of the Doctor may do something there. Okay, continue researching. You've got some good ideas. Katie Mikey, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as subscribing earlier. Make sure to grab yourself a candy cane on your way past the commissary. What if we put SCP-096 and SCP-914? Well, we wouldn't, because biological testing has been halted for a very long time. Plus, putting singular anomalies that we don't have duplicates of into 914 is contraindicated, because then we would not have the original anomaly to study anymore. So both of those things make it a bad thing to do that we will not be doing. Zeros, welcome. Thank you for your 8-month member message as an overseer here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Thank you for your leadership in helping us to further win the battle against the white names. Merry late Christmas. Me and Steve make Christmas ham. Ooh, I am a little hungry and can use for a bit of that Christmas ham. You've got my interest. Intern Ackerman, thank you for donating again to say, SCP, curse that if you talk, you sound like a Drake intro. I am glad that I do not listen to enough Drake to understand that reference. Good. Oats, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a plate of flapjacks on your way past the commissary. I trained the SCP-1507s to fly the Foundation's best helicopter and use its weaponry. Here's the photograph. How? They don't have hands. I don't care if there's a photograph. You need to tell me in detail how these wingless flamingos are flying a helicopter with only the hook of their necks and beaks, and the little spike that sticks them in the ground. You need to tell me more. Dark Duality, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a plate of chicken tenders on your way past the commissary. Are we cool yet? Isn't there anymore? Again, good idea left. Yes, I guess in that, the year 2059, Are We Cool Yet is clearly defunct in that canon. A lot less of a trouble for us, I'll say. I saw a Ko-Fi notification. Let me get that before I forget it exists. Be Librarian, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Thank you for making the effort to donate through the Ko-Fi, since it has a 3% tax on donations, whereas YouTube Super Chats have a 30% tax. So we appreciate you making the effort. Grab yourself a milkshake on your way past the commissary. Goncharov has taken on a horrifying new life for me after reading Article 2747. So much for the Foundation not being real. Joke, but you get me, I think. Yes, Goncharov, which everybody knows about it, but it doesn't exist. You're thinking it could have been devoured by 2747. An interesting hypothesis. I could request a little more research on that. I like the way your head is thinking. Mr. Present, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. So, question. After last year's accident, should we go ahead and alter the memory of all people worldwide again? Well, only if it happens again. We already did the mind altering last time. We don't need to do it if it doesn't happen again. Let's just make sure it doesn't happen again. Gold 2 Slayer, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Grab yourself a nice MLT, a nice mutton, lettuce, and tomato sandwich where the tomato is nice and ripe and the mutton is nice and lean. On your way past the commissary. The anomalous kobold is late, but here. I just messed around with the people in the void by making a quantum tunnel that led to the bunny dimension, then flood a tiny little portion of the void with bunnies. Well, depending on the type of bunnies, that could be either adorable or a very large problem. And I'm not in the void, so either way, it's not my problem. Skull Wolf Kurt, thank you for your donating again. Well, I will choose the third option, Apocalypse of Wendigo. And yes, I create a third option. Why not? That sounds like a way worse apocalypse than the one I told you about. Why would you want a worse apocalypse? That sounds painful. Affleck, thank you for donating again to say, TLDR, I believe the Void's true appearance is, as posed by one of the White Rabbits, an endless gray with no time or space, light nor dark. Well, now it's an endless gray with no time or space, light nor dark, but lots of bunnies, from what I hear. Oats BK, thank you for donating again to say, I make it work. That's not an answer. I want details. Lawn flamingos don't fly helicopters. Even when they're alive, I imagine it would be very difficult. They're not exactly dexterous beings. Lamp, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a smoothie on your way past the commissary. Fun fact, anomalies are a unique field of mathematics, using entirely new operations and uses attributes alongside and in place of numbers. Is there a branch of non-anomalous mathematics just called anomalies? Is that what you're saying? I have never heard of that before, but I wouldn't be shocked. Non-anomalous mathematics has its own things going on. Mathematics, anomalies. It doesn't seem like a branch of mathematics so far as just a refer to surprising exceptions and inconsistencies, says the Google summary, which you can't really trust then. It doesn't seem like there are mathematical anomalies, but it's not exactly a full branch, I guess. I don't know. Tell me more. Fill me in, because I can't find a good answer from my cursory search. Scarlett, thank you for donating again to say, I'll add more to chat after stream so it doesn't have to be a dono, and because I don't have enough money for that. Well, fair, and remember everyone, while we appreciate direct donations, they do help the channel. It is not the only way to help out Site42, so please never donate beyond your own means. Put yourself in a problem of having not enough money to support us. We would never want that. The goal is to have a big enough group that everyone can give a little to make it work, not one person break the bank to make it all work. And so, remember, we need the money people to survive, but we also need the engagement people. It's a D&D party. You got to be well-rounded. You have to have the money people and the engagement people to make Mobile Task Force Sci-42 codename Signal Boosters work. Some people donate. Some people draw engagement with the like, share, subscribes, and commenting and chatting for us as well as the projects we support. That way, further people go and give it engagement, and then it gets ad revenue. And when you're an engagement person, you're still donating your time and your eyes and your views. Don't actually donate your eyes. Don't donate your eyes. Just watch things. Don't give your eyes. Long story short, while we appreciate your donations, they're not required, and we thank you for your generosity. Laser Voringer, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself a full-on double bacon cheeseburger meal with fries or onion rings on your way past the commissary. Yo, I love your content, just wanted to support. Well, thank you very much for your generosity. I'm glad you're enjoying our show here. We're doing our best out on these SCP streets to bring attention to the community and to have a good time with some jokes and some memes here and again. Goltus Lair, thank you for donating again to say, don't worry, Doctor. All they really need to do is just get a reality anchor. The close the quantum tunnel. The same anchors you use for my containment. Well, not the actual same ones that we use for your containment, because then you would be uncontained. So we're going to get another reality anchor. Nice try, though. Scarlett, thank you for donating again. I'm going to go now. Have a lovely sleep. Goodbye. Well, fare thee well and take care. Skullwolf Kurt, thank you for donating again to say, well, why not? We always need a little bit of chaos. And also a little voice in my head is telling me it's a work in progress. Strange. I'm getting a little concerned about your well-being, Skullwolf Kurt. Silent Follower, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a turkey leg on your way past the commissary. What if my eyes are terrible? I can get new ones instead of glasses. Lol. Well, that's if you donate your eyes, which, again, I said not to do. But if you do donate your eyes, make sure you've got a source for better eyes first. There are a lot of anomalous sources to get new eyeballs. I mean, anomalies love fucking with eyeballs. It's just, they're so creepy. And so make sure you've got a certain source of new eyes before you donate yours. Coolboy87, Whitley White, and Astrid. Welcome to Site42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Oates, thank you for donating again to say, they're now using tanks and submarines. Wait, you haven't told me how they do the helicopter yet. How are they driving all of these complicated machineries? Spill the beans. I need the intel. Whoosh. Double check this, refresh the chat because it's having a slight browser glitch. Oh, by the way, yesterday I gave a reading recommendation. I want to know who took the reading recommendation. Did anyone actually go and read SCP-4290, codename The Child Hungers? Did anyone read SCP-4290, codename The Child Hungers? Because it's a damn fine article, and I wanted you to read it for good reasons. Because it's a damn fine article. Give me 1 second. My homework's being interrupted. What? Say hello to Puppy of Interest 42. Puppy of Interest 42 has not been found by her owners yet. If you recognize this delightful, adorable puppy, and you live in the Union City, California area, let me know if you know the owners. Otherwise, she is making a name for herself around the site. And so, I'm not saying we're going to steal a dog, but I am saying she's very nice. And so, if she's not claimed, then I don't know what's going to happen. I make no claims. Good girl. Good girl. Such a good baby. For those unfamiliar, Puppy of Interest 42 was literally found on the street Christmas Eve by Agent Goose, our animal wrangler here at Site 42. And so, actually, was running under a bus and was thankfully saved from said fate. And so we've been trying to find the owner for a couple days, to no avail, but the journey continues. So as I was saying, 4290, codename The Child Hungers, show a Dr. Sherman thumbs up emoji if you're a member, or a standard thumbs up emoji if you are not, if you read 4290. I'm waiting the 30 seconds in the chat that it takes for people to do a thumbs up and for it to catch up. Listen, I'm not going to spoil 4290 on stream because it is a surprise that is really good. I will say again, yes, Dr. Frogman. Actually, I changed my mind, not because of you, but because I just told you to go read it, so it's your fault if you're spoilered. Yes, 4290 is one of... Honestly, I'm not going to say it's one of my favorites. It is one of my favorites, though. It's not in the favorites list, but it is a golly gee good article where you read the entire thing and it's building up. There's this terrifying monster. It's under the lake in another dimension. We sacrifice humans to it to feed it. The chains are breaking every day. We've evacuated the public. We've evacuated everyone to a different universe because the monster's about to break out. And then when the portal opens, we discover that the monster starved to death centuries ago. And there's a bunch of dead bodies there because we've been sacrificing people to nothing. It is absolutely hilarious. The twist there is sublime. Great article. I hope you read it, even if I did spoil it for you, because remember, spoilers only enhance the reading process very often. They've done studies, and when two groups of people were told a story with no spoilers, or told the spoiler and then told the story, the people who were told the spoiler liked the story more than the people who were not spoiled. Because instead of being surprised, they got to know ahead of time and they got to see the foreshadowing and the clues, and it made them appreciate the story more. And so, just keep that in mind. Don't hate on spoilers too much, because very often they can enhance the story for you, if you let them. But yes, 4290, if you did not read it, go read it. Or listen to our reading here on the channel, because we have an audio reading of 4290 here on the channel as well. Oates, thank you for donating again to say, the flamingos peck at the controls. Okay, but what about the helicopter's movement stick? How do they peck at that to make it move? Dr. Sherman, my friend said you look gay. Well, intern alien, I've been getting that my whole life. It's called theater kid and theater adult disease. There are many such sufferers. Matthew Patrick of Game Theory, for instance, is quite the sufferer. But it's not offensive because the gays are usually more well taken care of and looking fine as hell. It's all part of my evil and sexy plans. Don't worry about it. Oh, hey, Dr. Sherman, I haven't watched a stream of yours since you got amnesticized a few months ago. Also, that's the first time I've heard you say fuck. Well, Nakamwe, that happens from time to time. It happens more depending on the situation. How are we sure you aren't an anomaly? Oh, Rymanton, don't you start that again. Don't you start that again. No. I'm still stuck in Schrodinger's anomalous status thanks to my author's indecision. Ow! It's your fault! Ugh. Author hates being called out. Yeah, and you should have seen his reaction yesterday when I threatened to put the shadow spider underneath his bed. Nope. Oh, congratulations, Site42 staff. We have 140 likes and 121 viewers. That means you got the likes higher than the view count, which means YouTube algorithm is going to keep pulling in more people. And we're going to save them from the AI slop in the shorts feed. We're going to bring them to the wholesome arts community of the SCP Wiki. And so, thank you for your support in bringing more people to the SCP Wiki so we can support them and their authors, artists, animators, game devs, filmmakers, merch makers, etc. We thank you for your service, Signal Boosters. Dr. Sherman does not have any abilities until it has been written on the Wiki. Also, Site42 does not condone any alteration or vandalism to the SCP Wiki on behalf of Dr. Sherman. Site42 SCPs are here only. If Sherman and I wanted them on the Wiki, we'd put them there ourselves. I am glad you said that second part, because the way you said that also made me think that people were going to start writing stories with Dr. Sherman's anomalies to try to canonize them. But remember, there is no canon, so even if you did that, I could still deny it. Different canon, different universe. Don't vandalize the Wiki. Oates, thank you for donating again to say, they use their neck and also now they're taking drills for chaos raids and they are doing well. Man, you only started this like 3 days ago. They're going real hard. Do they sleep? Do the flamingos sleep or eat? I don't think they do. But don't you sleep or eat? How are you doing so much? Intern Hammerson, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a candied bar on your way past the commissary. And what would the SCP Foundation do with Ogren? Well, I don't know what an Ogren is, but I suppose I can check the database and See if there's any mentions anywhere. Ogrin, Warhammer 40k entity. Ogrins possess many traits prized by the Imperium. They are brutally strong and completely loyal, although extremely limited intellectually, which restricts their battlefield role to simple and direct assaults. So I would assume we would trick them into thinking they have orders to stay in containment. I think that would be the best way to contain them. I like big but dumb. Makes things easy. Oates, thank you for donating again to say, I haven't slept for 3 days. Okay, how long can you go without sleep? Because you do need to take care of yourself. Sleep. Hydrate. Plenty of time here. Goldtooth Lair, thank you for donating again to say, oh, please, Doctor, you know I wouldn't harm you. You're definitely better than the last person that had to control my containment. Happy they're gone. Well, yes, the previous site director, we don't talk about him. There was problems. Skullworth Kurt, thank you for donating again to say, well, Doctor, you will see it in due time. Writing a fan comic. Oh, my. Okay. Oates, thank you for donating while somehow passing out on the floor and collapsing. Thank you for your generosity and somehow managing to hit the send donation button while passing out. That is real hardcore stuff right there. Kitty Cat Gamer, thank you for your first donation of today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a Wafa Thin Mint on your way past the commissary. My New Year's SCP is 729. That's great. Oh, fuck. Oh, wasn't expecting that. Why? Why would you choose that to be your New Year's SCP? I gave you 2 options, and you somehow picked a wrong option. Because I bought me a Yellow Bunny plushie. You people sicken me. Why isn't there a coffee machine in the commissary? Well, right, mate, and the coffee machines are in the break rooms. We don't need one in the commissary because the commissary staff brew fresh coffee. So there's no need for a machine in the commissary, obviously. Oates, thank you for donating again while wearing SCP-714, which worries me. Ah, the Jaded Ring. I see. Well, perhaps, rather than trying to use that to help yourself, maybe you should just, I don't know, go the fuck to sleep. Oh, time check. Jeez. I almost got lost there. We have 8 minutes left in stream, people. 8 minutes left in stream, so get your last questions in. Dr. Sherman, who would you pick? Oh, okay, between 4646, the end of the world New Year's, or 6154, the Happy New Year's with Morale? Well, as much as I enjoy Lily's proposal for being my ideal end of the world, I would rather the world not end at all. And so I'm going to take the gamble and go with 6154, a minor morale boost. Because maybe the world won't end, at least on my shift in my lifetime. And then I'll be fine. Spoiler, Sherman. Damn it, desk. You're right. Well, you remember how I said spoilers make the story better? Now you're going to learn proof. Shit. Thank you for making good content. Well, thank you for watching, Intern Apples. We appreciate it. Also, I'm sorry for those who are actually offended by spoilers. That was my bad. I am honestly sorry. Foxpax & Co., thank you for donating again to say, heads up, Dr. Sherman, we're making our way to Site 42 via the air since it'll be faster. It'll be easier to avoid detection for the general public. We're 40 mics out. Okay, but watch the wind. Watch that wind. You never know how it's going to go. Scarlett, thank you for donating again to say, Summoned, I heard people are having sleep problems. Yes, Oates BK has been up for the last 72 hours training the SCP-5007s to be a lawn flamingo mobile task force. Honestly, it's not the strangest mobile task force we have. We do have the mobile task furries after all, so not our first rodeo with the weird here at the Foundation. But anyways, they need to sleep. What happens if you eat SCP-999? Intern Gojira, SCP-999 is... Most people imagine it to be rather small, but it is in fact the size of a couch. It is 2 meters by 1 meter. It is rather large of a slime. And so if you ate it, you would probably die before you finish the job. Scarlett, thank you for donating again to say, make sure to sleep. That goes for everyone and myself. Agreed. Sleep is an important part of being the best you can. It's part of the Foundation Fitness Initiative. If you are not sleeping properly, you are probably not going to be well rested enough to eat well or do good exercise, and that will cause problems for you in the future. Take care of yourselves. We're supposed to be the best of the best. Goltus Lair, thank you for donating again to say, anyway, since your little stream going to be ending, I'm going to break out of containment and go for a walk and maybe fish. Good luck catching me. I'm ending stream. That is the worst time to break out because that means I am free to come catch you. Your planning is just not on par today. You need to up your game. Foxpax & Co., thank you for donating again to say, sleep is for the weak. No, it's not. Sleep is for the powerful. Those who sleep become powerful. Those who don't sleep, they become weak. You got it backwards. Flip it and reverse it. Hi, Dr. Sherman. What are you doing for New Year's? Well, intern Gaga, I was going to find a nice location to watch some fireworks, but the storms a-brewin' in my area seem like it will be a rather put-out scenario. So it looks like my plans may be canceled. Kitty Cat Gamer, thank you for your 1-month member message to say, can I get your favorite SCP but slow? All right. Well, since we're ending in 3 minutes, I will do a slow run of the SCPs as well as the normal and the fast run since you asked using your member message. Thank you for being a member message user of 1 month of level 1 researchership. We appreciate your membership and your training. Rebel Commander, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a cheese and cracker plate on your way past the commissary. Foundation have to contain Jurassic World if found it. Well, yes, InGen is using quite the anomalous technology to make dinosaurs, so yes, we will. Well, depending. There may be a way in which the technology they're using is actually just normal genetic works, in which case they are non-anomalous, and then we don't have to worry about it, although we would still keep an eye on it because, untrustworthy. Scarlett, thank you for donating again to say, Dr. Sherman, I'm happy to return them to containment. Well, thank you for your service. Keep up the good work. Oats, thank you for donating again. Wakes up, time to do more training. Oh, they can now dig tunnels and flank. You can't be doing more training. You only slept for 5 minutes. You need to eat. You need to sleep. Stop it, or I'll stop you. 369 Destroyer, thank you for your 1-month member message as a level 1 researcher. Thank you for your service in helping us to win the Battle of the White Names. 729-J. Fuck. Got coal from all the Santai and the Yule Man. I didn't even know the Yule Man gave out coal. That's pretty impressive, actually. It's what it deserves, the douchebag. Alright, Site 42 staff, we are currently at the end of stream, and at the end of stream, it's a tradition around these parts that I tell you my favorite SCPs. Of course, I'm not going to tell you that the SCPs I personally wrote are my favorite. That would be cheating. But if you want to read the SCPs I wrote, you can go to the Sherm's author page in Site 42 Hub on the SCP Wiki. There you can see the SCPs I personally wrote, as well as contributed voice lines or sound effects to. And while you're on my author page reading those SCPs, one tab over, there's some links. Some links people are always asking about, but they just never make the effort to find. And if you can't make the effort, you don't deserve to find it. So, those of you in Mobile Task Force Psi 42, codenamed Signal Boosters, who made that effort, of course, I salute you. And while you're there with those links, you can become a Site 42 Patreon patron or a YouTube channel member to donate to us monthly. You can do Ko-Fi donations or YouTube Super Chats to donate to us once at a time. Either way, direct donations are the quickest way to help out Site 42 to keep the lights on, so we appreciate your generosity. And if you are part of the Broke Gang, and trust me, we're an arts community, starving artists is a thing for a reason. If you are part of the Broke Gang, it doesn't matter, because as I said earlier, we need the money people and the engagement people to make SCP projects. So as long as you're doing that like, share, subscribe, comment, and chat dance on our videos and chats, streams, as well as those of the videos and games that we support from other creators, you are a valued and honored member. I tried to say member before I said honored, and I got stuck on the M because I knew it was wrong. A valued and honored member of Mobile Task Force Psi 42, codename the Signal Boosters, and we thank you for your service. Now, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on the last one, it's a bit of a rough read. The Speed Round. 3999304308-J, Spooky-J, 5031-5175-5320-8980. Content warning on the last one, it's a rough read. And oh boy, the slow one. 3999 3043 008-J Spooky-J 5031 5320 5175 5320. I missed one. 5031 5320 5175 and 8980. Content warning on the last one. It's a bit of a rough read. Yeah, no, it took so long I forgot what I was doing halfway through. Oof. Well, Site 42 staff, that brings us to the end of today's stream. Today's Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman is over. It's a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. I hope you had fun. I hope you had some. I hope you had something. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. I was dreaming when I wrote this. Forgive me if it goes astray. But when I woke up this morning, could have sworn that it was Judgment Day. The sky was all purple, there were people running everywhere. Trying to run from my destruction, you know I didn't even care. 'Cause they say 2000 party over, oops, out of time. So tonight I'm gonna party like it's 1999. How thematic for the SCP, we talked about 1999. How appropriate and lucky for us, it's 1999. The credit song is 1999 by Prince. Be safe, be well, and secure, contain, protect.